Right now, something is quietly shifting in the world of computing, and most people haven't fully realized the scale of it yet. For decades, Windows has been the default choice for millions of users around the world. It's what people grew up with, what businesses rely on, what gamers built their libraries on, and what manufacturers pre-install on almost every laptop you can buy. But under the surface, a different ecosystem has been evolving, improving, and slowly removing every barrier that once kept it in the shadows. And now, with a recent wave of breakthroughs in Linux, we're at a point where it's no longer crazy to ask a question that once sounded impossible. Are we witnessing the beginning of the end of Windows dominance? To understand why this moment matters, you have to look at how Linux has transformed over the past few years. It's no longer just a tool for developers or enthusiasts who enjoy tinkering with terminals and compiling kernels. Modern Linux distributions have become incredibly polished, fast, and user-friendly. Distros like Ubuntu, Fedora, Linux Mint, and even newer players are delivering experiences that rival or even surpass what Windows offers in many key areas. But what's really changed recently is not just usability, it's capability. The gaps that once made Linux impractical for mainstream users are closing fast. One of the biggest historical weaknesses of Linux has always been software compatibility. If you relied on certain Windows applications, especially professional tools like Adobe products or specific enterprise software, switching to Linux meant sacrificing access to those tools. That alone kept millions of users locked into Windows. But now, thanks to advancements in compatibility layers like Wine and Proton, that wall is starting to crumble. Proton, in particular, has been a game changer for gaming. Built by Valve, Proton allows Windows games to run on Linux with little to no configuration, and the results have been shocking. Thousands of games now run flawlessly, including many AAA titles that were once considered impossible on Linux. This isn't just a technical improvement, it's a psychological shift. For years, the phrase Linux can't run games was enough to shut down any conversation about switching. But today, that argument doesn't hold the same weight. With platforms like Steam Deck pushing Linux into the spotlight, developers are starting to take Linux seriously in ways they never did before. The more users adopt Linux, the more developers are incentivized to support it natively, creating a feedback loop that accelerates growth. Another major breakthrough comes in the form of performance. Linux has always had a reputation for being lightweight and efficient. But recent kernel improvements and desktop environment optimizations have taken that to another level. On the same hardware, Linux often feels faster and more responsive than Windows. Boot times are shorter, system resources are used more efficiently, and background processes are kept to a minimum. This becomes especially noticeable on older hardware, where Windows struggles to maintain smooth performance. Linux can breathe new life into machines that would otherwise be considered obsolete. And then there's the issue of control. Windows has increasingly moved toward a more locked-down ecosystem, with forced updates, telemetry, and a growing reliance on online services. For many users, this has become a source of frustration. Updates can interrupt workflows, system settings can change unexpectedly, and privacy concerns continue to grow. Linux, on the other hand, offers a level of control that Windows simply doesn't. You decide when to update, what to install, and how your system behaves. There's no hidden telemetry sending your data to a corporation unless you explicitly allow it. This difference in philosophy is becoming more important as users become more aware of how their data is used. Privacy is no longer a niche concern, it's becoming mainstream. And in that context, Linux has a clear advantage. It's open source, transparent, and community-driven. Anyone can inspect the code, modify it, and verify what it does. That level of transparency builds trust in a way that closed systems struggle to match. But perhaps the most significant breakthrough is happening in hardware support. One of the biggest pain points for Linux users in the past was dealing with drivers and compatibility issues. Things like Wi-Fi, adapters, GPUs, and peripherals didn't always work out of the box. But that situation has improved dramatically. Major hardware manufacturers are now actively supporting Linux, either directly or through open-source drivers. NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel have all made strides in improving their Linux support, and the result is a much smoother experience for users. Even laptop manufacturers are starting to ship devices with Linux pre-installed. Companies like Dell, Lenovo, and System76 are embracing Linux in ways that would have seemed unlikely a decade ago. This is crucial because it removes one of the biggest barriers to entry. When users can buy a device that just works with Linux out of the box, the need for technical knowledge drops significantly. At the same time, the rise of containerization and universal package formats is solving another long-standing issue in the Linux ecosystem: fragmentation. In the past, installing software on Linux could be confusing because different distributions use different package managers and dependencies. But technologies like Flatpak, Snap, and API Image are changing that. They allowed developers to package their applications in a way that works across multiple distributions, making software distribution much simpler and more consistent. This might sound like a small detail, but it has huge implications. It means developers can target Linux as a platform without worrying about compatibility across dozens of distros. And for users, it means installing software can be as simple as clicking a button, much like it is on Windows or Mac OS. Meanwhile, cloud computing and web-based applications are reducing dependence on any specific operating system. More and more tools are moving to the browser, from productivity suites to development environments. When your workflow lives in the cloud, the underlying OS becomes less important. This shift benefits Linux because it removes one of the last remaining advantages Windows had: exclusive access to certain software. Another factor that can't be ignored is cost. Windows licenses aren't always free, especially for businesses and custom builds. Linux, on the other hand, is typically free and open source. For individuals, that's a nice bonus. For organizations managing thousands of machines, it's a significant financial advantage. When combined with lower hardware requirements and longer device lifespans, the total cost of ownership for Linux can be much lower than Windows. Education is another area where Linux is gaining ground. Schools and universities are increasingly adopting Linux-based systems because of their cost-effectiveness and flexibility. Students who grow up using Linux are more likely to continue using it in their professional lives. Over time, this creates a new generation of users who are comfortable outside the Windows ecosystem. But let's be clear, this doesn't mean Windows is going to disappear overnight. It still has a massive user base, deep integration with enterprise systems, and strong support from software developers. However, what's changing is the balance of power. Windows is no longer the only viable option for most users. Linux has evolved into a legitimate alternative that can meet the needs of a wide range of people. And once users realize they have a choice, things start to shift. Even a small percentage of users switching away from Windows can have a ripple effect. It encourages developers to support Linux, which in turn attracts more users, creating a cycle of growth. This is exactly how platforms gain momentum. There's also a cultural shift happening. Linux used to be seen as intimidating or niche, but that perception is changing. Online communities, tutorials, and content creators are making Linux more accessible than ever. People are sharing their experiences, showcasing what's possible, and helping others make the transition. This kind of grassroots movement is incredibly powerful because it's driven by genuine enthusiasm rather than marketing budgets. At the same time, frustration with Windows is growing. Changes in user interface, increased system requirements, and controversial decisions are pushing some users to look for alternatives. Every time Windows introduces a feature that users don't like, it creates an opportunity for Linux to gain attention. What we're seeing right now isn't a sudden, it's a gradual shift that has been building for years. But recent breakthroughs have accelerated that process. The combination of better compatibility, improved performance, stronger hardware support, and a growing ecosystem is pushing Linux into the mainstream in a way we haven't seen before. And this brings us back to the original question: is this the end of Windows? The answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Windows isn't going to vanish, but its dominance is no longer guaranteed. For the first time in a long time, it has real competition, and that competition is getting stronger every day. The real story here isn't about one operating system replacing another. It's about choice. It's about users having the freedom to pick the platform that works best for them without being locked into a single ecosystem. And in that sense, this Linux breakthrough changes everything. Because once the barriers are gone, once the excuses no longer hold, the decision becomes much simpler. Do you stay with what you know, or do you explore something that offers more control, more freedom, and in many cases, better performance? That's the moment we're approaching right now. And whether you're a casual user, a gamer, a developer, or a business owner, it's a moment worth paying attention to.